Mo Mooncey, I need you to come to the forefront right now because your team plays in the East. Everyone going into this season was talking about it's going to be the Battle of LA. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Nets have asserted themselves on this whole league. So I'm now saying, with Blake's addition, this now makes the Nets the favourites for the title. What do you think, Mo?
No.
Ooh.
I'm going to say no. Here's the reason. If you think the Brooklyn Nets are going to win the NBA title, you thought this before they signed Blake Griffin.
No, Mo. See, your take was so hot. Your take was so hot.
I'm back.
Even Blake.
Listen.
Blake's a troll.
No,
Blake's a troll.
Now it's making me look bad.
That's
Now it's making me look bad. Hear what I'm saying.
Reload it.
Hear what I'm saying.
Reload it.
Hear what I'm saying. Let me start from the top. Let me start from the top. Blake Griffin signing with the Brooklyn Nets does not make them favorites for the title. Reason being, if you thought the Brooklyn Nets were going to win the NBA title, you should have been thinking that after they traded for James Harden. Blake Griffin, as great a career as he's had, right now is not that difference maker, shifting the needle. He's just going to be a nice complementary piece to what they've already got. If you think the Brooklyn Nets are going to win the title, you were thinking that before Friday. It's not like Blake Griffin is this Blake Griffin you're seeing on your screen right now. He doesn't have bounce like that anymore. What he does have and what he can offer is elite three-point shooting. He's shooting 44.2% on wide open three-point shots. And, playing with Kyrie, KD, and James Harden, that get him those easy looks, he's going to absolutely flourish. And then, playing the pick and roll game off the short roll with James Harden, he's got a great passing ability. So he's going to find guys like Joe Harris, who's going to get even more open looks. So yes, he is a great addition, but I don't think adding him makes them the favorites. I think trading for James Harden would have made them the favorites in a lot of people's minds because Blake Griffin, for me, isn't the player that he once was. He's going to be a great role player coming in, but we can't get distracted by the fact that he has a big name around him. I still see him as a role player coming in to add a complementary piece to what they've already got in terms of 3 superstars. When they traded for James Harden, that's the moment you say, okay, cool, these guys are favorites to come out of the East now. Okay, cool, these guys might just go on and win a championship. Blake Griffin is just a little bit of finesse on the top of that. But I don't think him coming in is shifting the balance of saying, all right, last week I didn't think the Brooklyn Nets were going to win it. This week I think they do. I feel like a lot of people were thinking that before they even signed Blake Griffin. So I hear what you're saying, and I think maybe because the connection cut out, it might have caught me tripping. But what I mean to say is this. The Brooklyn Nets are stacked. They're stacked already. James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. That's a force.
BJ, I'm now seeing KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, as Mo just alluded to. 3 ball dominant players that have shown that they can play together. A whole bunch of good role players, Jeff Green, Joe Harris, Landry Shamet, and now 2/3 of Lob City, who we spoke about on this show being one of the most iconic teams to never win a championship. So I'm going to turn around and ask you, BJ, they are stacked. Does Blake's addition now make them the favorites?
I don't think Blake's addition makes them the favorite. I really don't. Your star players have to be great every single night. They have 3 star players already. And more times than not, 1, 2, maybe all 3 will be clicking at any given moment or any given game. So they already have the star players. Now Blake Griffin is asked to be something that he's never been, to be a role player. So star players have to be great and role players have to play their role great. Every trade that's made, I'm going to put my executive hat back on again if I can. And when you make a trade in this league or you make a transaction in this league, you have to look at it from 3 dimensions. 1, you're going to try to win one of the 3 or all 3 if possible. 1, you're going to try to win the press clippings. Check for the Brooklyn Nets. They won the press clippings. 2, you're going to try to win the locker room. Is it a good fit for this team? That is yet to be determined. And 3, you try to win the game. I'm not sure what his effect is going to be on the game because you're going to ask role players to do things, get loose balls, set screens, rebound the basketball, pass the basketball. You're going to ask them to be great at all of the things that maybe don't get to the stat sheet. I'm not sure what Blake's ability is in that role because we've never seen him in that role. We know this Blake that can run and jump and lob city and all of those things. Now this is going to be a new role. This is going to be a new adjustment for him, and we'll see how he fits in. I like the name. I love the press clippings. I love the theater. I love the bright lights. But in the end, if there's a loose ball, is Blake going to get it? Because that's where we're asking this Blake Griffin to do. And I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. But I still think that this team is really good. I think this team should be favored based on what they've already done. And now if they can add more bigs, because the one thing is still missing from this team is rim protection. With the exception of DeAndre Jordan, I don't know who else is going to rim protect. And someone is going to have to stop Joel Embiid over there in the East, because Joel Embiid is a problem, and they need more than 6 fouls, okay? And you're not going to be able to play small ball against him. So when it's all said and done, when they get to see that big man there, Joel Embiid in Philly, in the city of brotherly love, they need more than 6 fouls. And they need someone that's taller than 6'8", 6'9" to do it. So I like the press clippings of it, but I'm not sure what it does when it's all said and done, because the game is won on the floor, and I don't think this really, moves the needle one way or another.
Ovie, this is good. I like this, Ovie, because they're breaking down X's and O's. You saw the executive and you saw the player's perspective. You saw the minutes. You saw how he's going to fit in. I need to know from your perspective, looking at Blake's pick and roll game, yes, we know he ain't that guy that's flying through the air no more, jumping over cars. But do you still believe that he could be a dominant force and actually makes the Nets the favorites right now?
I'm sorry that you like it, because I really don't. I think it does. No. Like both of you guys have said, though, it sounds great. It really, really does. But I think if you've watched Blake over the last couple of years, for a little while now, he's not. He's lost that same kind of explosiveness. He's not going to be so much a presence inside the paint, which is what they're definitely looking for on the defensive end. And then I see you over there. You drawing up plays, baby. Hey,
I'm drawing up plays for him. I'm trying to see. Look, he comes into the pick. He sets the pick here, yeah. Top of the key. I see Kyrie one side. I see James the other. I see KD can go for an isolation. If they want to push out to Joe Harris, I'm seeing it, bro.
But
Why
what
can't you
you're
see
doing
it?
is you're making him into a focal point now. You're saying, okay, he's gonna play a pick and roll, and then you're talking about leaving Kyrie and James Harden standing on one side. It's not. It's just not going to happen. He hasn't played that role before, and at this point in his career, the amount of money he's made, he'll probably hurt himself if he tried to dive on a loose ball. No shade to him, but I don't think he knows what that is. I've played with guys who are on the back end of their career, and after you make so much money, you look at that loose ball and it's like,
yeah, but here's the thing, though.
And he's never done that, So to expect that, maybe he will come out and play that way. I'm not saying he's a talented guy, but I can't see it. I just can't see it.
What I will say, though, in terms of diving on the loose balls and whatnot, is he left $13.3 million on the table. Now, if that doesn't inspire you to dive on a loose ball and secure the ball and secure the possession and win the possession or win the game or win the championship, I don't know what will. I'm all about securing the If you have made this move and been bought out of your contract and left over 10 mil on the table, you have to win a championship, and you have to do whatever it takes, because there's no way you can leave that money and then not dive on the loose ball and stand there like this is your team.
No.
You left that money there. You're no longer a superstar. You're not on the max contract no more, Blake. We're treating you like a role player. Go and dive on that ball. Go and get that rebound and go and set our screen.
You just were saying something different 5 minutes ago. But anyway, what I was saying is you don't leave 10 million unless you can afford to leave 10 million. That's the reality of it. You leave 10 plus million on the table if you can afford that. You don't see someone leaving that kind of money unless, okay, you're already fine. And obviously he's had big contracts we all know about. Like, trust me, he's paying more than that to his ex. So don't worry about that. Like, he's good for it. He's good for it, Mo. He's good for it. Hey, he's good for it, Mo. Trust me, he's good for it.
La La Land is a very unique place.
Ovie's coming no chill. Ovie's coming no chill for the second half of this season.
I'm just saying, he's good for the money. Don't worry about that 10 million. That's not what it's about.
This guy's hot.
Great. I'm sorry.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over.
It's over. Let's go home.
I hope Blake doesn't come for me, man.
Oh, man. Okay.
Sometimes I just.
And
I just
moving
don't like
right
myself.
along.
I love what I do. I love what I do. Oh my gosh.